I don't know. They're like super like puffy and thick. And then I was like, oh, I have all these masks and different kinds. And I was like, oh, which one should we pick today? And I'm like, oh, Refresh. That sounds good. So I pulled that out, slapped that on. I thought I'll leave it 5 minutes extra because I maybe just need a little of that. Nope. False advertising. It didn't feel refreshed at all.
Yeah, how was that $100 you spent?
It wasn't actually. These are well, none of them are. These are the Amway ones. I'm not a big Amway fan. If someone's we're live, by the way. If someone's an Amway fan, then sorry. But normally, like, not really. But these masks I love, and they're not that expensive. And there's 5 different ones.
Are those the ones that we were talking about the other day? Or
no, those are great. Those are the ones you slap on your face, and you leave on for like 20 minutes. Those are phenomenal.
They look like paper mache.
No, I posted those. This is just like it's stuff you smear on your face and then you just go do your thing. I was out pulling weeds with it on my face and just do you, boo. So, hey, welcome, Mike. I don't know if anyone knows Mike. Everyone's like, nope, have no idea.
No idea.
Why you're who are you? Who are you? Why are you here?
That you have to be determined. But no, in all seriousness, I am the founder of Team 1 Mile. And we're a charity team that just does some epic, crazy shit. And this will be our 2nd year of racing across America. I reached out to Sarah to see if I could convince her to be on the crew.
He's still working on that because I'm not sure I'm crew-like material. So I'm like, do I just stand and hold the sign? Like, you're doing great. Keep going.
Oh, you mean like a pit crew or something, right?
Yeah, we do. We have 8 riders, but we have about 20 crew members.
Yeah.
Because it's a nonstop circus from West Coast to East Coast.
I've never
nonstop.
We
race 24 hours a day.
Wow, incredible.
So
yeah, great.
Yeah, so
it was full of crap at first. You know me. I'm like,
well, not to say that we're not. And it's kind of a crazy train. So when she said, "Hey, do you want to come on to our podcast, our Sassy podcast?" I'm like, this is perfect.
Right.
So
that's who I am. I'm here in the Midwest. I'm in Wisconsin.
We could tell.
Yeah.
Your accent gave it away just a little bit. Wisconsin.
So that's I could go on about myself, but it's really about our message is really a veteran and civilians coming together. That's kind of our broader reach, and
which I love that. So we'll have to talk about what I have to do, and if I have to stand the whole time. Is it hot?
You're going to be the water girl that's like chasing them down the road as they go by.
Right. That's why I'm a winner. I'd be like, I'm sorry, you passed it. You're going to have to turn around.
Somebody's throwing it at them.
Yeah.
Actually.
Golf cart.
I'm just sitting on one of those lounge chairs with the umbrella. And going, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want water? They're right there in the cooler. Just You're doing great,
too funny.
Keep it up. Keep it up. You're amazing.
We did it last year in all kinds of ways. It was so crazy and so amazing. We decided, let's do it again. But we have a new team this year, so it really is.
They went once and they're like, "We're not doing it."
Like,
again.
forget that. 20.
What happened to the old team? What did you guys do?
Where are you, Mike? We're out.
Yeah, that's just it. You should have the old team on for an interview because everybody goes into it thinking it's going to be this amazing, fun adventure.
It's like working for me. Everyone thinks it's going to be an amazing, fun adventure, and they're like, "No."
Yeah, and then you get done, and it's kind of like, all right, I love you, but I hope I don't see you again for a long time. That was way too much together time.
That's why we do this once a year. I don't have to deal with you.
Well, especially if you make them do it 24 hours a day. I thought I was a slave driver.
Well, fortunately, we have 2 different, like a day shift and a night shift.
I thought it was like the same team that's like going the whole time so it's like a 5-day you stay awake thing.
No, I mean, it is the same team, but there is actually downtime for people. We have a big tour bus, and so it's somewhere between being absolutely horrible and this amazing experience, and it's
Okay, well, we'll have to talk about what that pit crew thing. If I get a jacket, then maybe I'll think about it, or a shirt. I don't know.
So, Mike, it's funny. I just got invited to do. I'm not going to do it because I'm not anywhere near swimming ability. But I got invited to do the SEAL swim across the Hudson.
Yes.
Have you seen that? Yeah.
I did it last year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as it sounds?
Drew, come on, man. If you go, I'll reconsider. I did go last year.
Nice look
and
at
I
the
too was
call out on
invited.
Drew there. He's like, I did it. It was easy.
No.
You have the shaved head, so you're more aerodynamic in the water. Is that what that's about? It's like
No, I mean it's I wouldn't necessarily say it's easy. But I was invited last year, and it was my first time going. And kind of like you know, I went as a Patriot actually. So,
Yep.
But again, another powerful and just a crazy cool experience. And it was funny too because you know, as I was there with a few other guys, and you're around probably several hundred former Navy SEALs team guys, right? And you sit there and you're like, okay, we are in the absolute safest spot in the world right now.
Exactly.
Because no matter
Except I'm going
what
to drown.
goes down,
I was going to say, except you're going to drown, and they're all going to stand around and went, well, why did you do this if you can't swim? What is wrong with you?
there's some truth to that, yeah. And then the other beautiful part about it that when I showed up was they're all like, hey, dude, did you bring your fins?
Yeah. What fins?
Some with fins? They're all like, you didn't bring fins? I'm like, no one told me to bring fins.
Hey, everyone knows, girls, don't you know? You see the pictures of the Navy SEAls getting out of the water and they're climbing up on the beach and they're carrying their fins.
I would not know. I wouldn't know that.
Well, I didn't either. So, fortunately, though, there was another guy there that
brushed up on their Bond movies because that's always in those. You're not paying attention. Yeah, they always have the black wetsuits and like the belt, and they are always carrying their fins. Yeah.
So they did have fins for me, and the fins were a great idea. So Drew, there's still time.
There's still time.
I'll say this:
do it in your cool. Do it in your cool.
Yeah,
Do it in your cool.
I'll also say this: they'll hand you a pair of silkies, right? So just
I have those.
Like almost like silk underwear. That's all you wear for the entire time you're there. And there are no.
Three of us are going.
There are no wetsuits.
That might be.
Yeah, there's no hide, no shame.
That might be. I'd be like, that's. I don't know. That's a lot of exposure right there.
You guys can look it up on the internet and be wowed. That's all.
Yeah, there's no wetsuits. And the other thing too, which was funny for me,
Dee's doing it right now down here. She's like,
yeah, are you Googling it? Yeah. The other thing too is when you jump into the Hudson River, it's a river, it's dirty.
Yep.
But it's salt water.
Right.
And I wasn't ready for that. I was expecting a cold, like just dirty river. And then you're kind of like, this is salt water?
Well, then that helps with a little buoyancy. You're not so bad. So
yeah, he the guy, I have a couple of friends that are team guys, but the one that I'm talking to, he sent me my qualifiers that I have to do, and I'm going, okay. You realize I'm from Colorado, right? Like I don't have I don't swim with fins, and we don't have oceans and all kinds of stuff, right?
No, but we got that big lake out there.
Yeah.
Off of what is that? C470? What's that big?
Oh, Chatfield?
Yeah, Chatfield Reservoir.
I guess that's dirty enough. Yeah.
Well, we can throw stuff at you. Becky and Dee and I can stand on the thing and we're like, oh, look out for the can.
Can we just ride a boat around and make a bunch of waves? Make it really hard.
On the boat and just motor next to you, so you'll get all the fumes. It'll feel just like the Hudson.
Make it
beer
cans.
Right.
Hey guys, they actually have a big, like a big chartered sightseeing boat.
Yep.
Oh, that's what we can do.
You guys can cheer us on.
Yeah, and
we'll do that.
And then hey, they do have a killer kick-ass after party.
Yeah.
All right, that's even better. We'll just go to that part.
Yeah, and that's where all the dancing was breaking out, and that's where that was worth the effort during the day just to go and be part of that and watch that.
The funny thing
Did
is,
they have the opportunity to change clothes before?
No, there's no clothes. They're Navy SEALs.
Yeah, you don't actually put some clothes on.
He's like, how do I get 15 singles?
Right.
There's a good environment there.
Make it rain. No dancing. Don't ask me.
What's funny is like the swim, like I get it, like the swim would be awesome, but I'd like just have the honor of running with the American flag with the crew of those guys through Manhattan and that whole thing. That'd be awesome.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll circle back, and if you decide to do it, because they just reached out to me, asking if I was coming back, and I just had a video where I was carrying the flag, like the last dude. We're in New Jersey, but I was like the last dude carrying the flag, and it is an amazing event if you can go.
Yeah.
All right, so we can move on.
Well, no, actually, our topic is a little close to your bike riding thing because we're going to talk today, and this happens every time. We talked about all of like the serial killer thing, and Drew wasn't here, and that's like the whole like the safety thing. You weren't here. Now we're talking about bad drivers, and Chip's not here. What does that say? I think that's kind of funny that like the 2 pointed topics to people didn't show up on their topic day.
Well, you're assuming that firefighters and medics can actually drive, but that's what we'll have that comment.
But we didn't say anything about police officers. Just
They'll get it. Those that are listening will get it. Those hose draggers will understand.
Oh, okay. So we were talking. Chip was on yesterday, and he was driving while he was on, and both he and Drew were saying everybody is just a bad driver. Like everyone drives it suck, and I'm like, well, then who's a good driver? If everyone thinks everyone else is bad, who's actually a good driver? And what is like the worst driver thing that pisses you off? What's your push button for like
Going slow in the fast lane, I will murder someone.
Parking in the left lane? Yeah.
Slow in the fast lane.
That's a given. I don't like when people have shit flying off their cars.
Yeah.
Like construction trucks. I get it. I understand it. But tie that stuff down. Like, I just don't even understand that. And when I had a thing come off the truck and pop my tire, and I was in like the far left lane, and there was like no room, and I had to wait for the tow truck and the whole thing. And I was like, that's just irresponsible to have all that debris and stuff, and then it falls on the road, and then it damages all our cars. So that is one that just ticks me off.
Yeah, mine is semi trucks. Mine has always been I think I got so used to taking care of other people's issues, but the semi trucks drive me nuts. Like when they're in the left lane, and some states out there, I'm not sure how it is in Wisconsin, but other states actually have that left lane law where they can't be in the left lane, which actually makes it more efficient. But not in Colorado. They drive wherever the hell they want to drive. And
I don't notice that very much. Are they in the left
Oh
lane?
yeah.
they're always in the left lane.
Driving up to you guys last week, they would just cut me off, like over Vale Pass, no
Yeah.
problem. They had no
Now
issue.
if they get behind another semi that's going slower than them and they don't like that happened to Drew and I on our way out west. And then all of a sudden it's do you know how long it takes you to speed up and go around that person? And then we're stuck behind. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
that one's going 35. This one's got to go 40. So I got to go around it to go 40.
30,
Like, I mean, it's
40,
just
37, maybe. Maybe they're going 2 miles more an hour because they're going to make that time crunch.
yeah.
Yeah.
It always drives me nuts.
Although I would not want to be a semi driver because I think our cars would be so irritating because people pull in front of them so close. And think of how much
Absolutely.
to get that to slow down.
Absolutely.
That's a big car. Okay, I'm going to be controversial, Mike. I live in Sedalia, and everybody loves to ride their bicycles on our
On
road.
the roadway.
And I'm just saying, I am a very considerate driver. I will not, like on a blind spot or anything else, I go way wide. But I am telling you, it scares the crap out of me for them because it is not a safe place for them to ride. And I get why they don't want to scooch over because it's all that sand and gravel over there. And I'm sure they're afraid that'd be worse, right? You fall and then get hit by a car. But I just go, oh goodness, like, I don't like that. And then they ride in twos. And then I'm like, okay, now I kind of like that better in some ways because then I feel like at least they're a little safe. I don't know. But I just go, is there nowhere else you can ride your bike?
No, I mean, and I get it. I absolutely get it because not only am I a cyclist, but I'm also that driver. And, it's, well, two things. First of all, back to the driving thing. What really bothers me and happened recently was somebody took it upon themselves on the freeway to be the speed police, right? He wouldn't let anybody pass.
Yes.
He'd speed up when you try to pass. Then he'd slow traffic down to go. It was just, you thought at first, okay, that's cute. But then it got to be, are you kidding me?
Well, I don't think I would think that was cute unless they.
No, but I mean, yeah. But it got to be.
You're like, oh, slow down.
It got to be where it was going on and on and on. And talk about pushing some buttons. I mean, it was like even after the point where we could pass him, you almost felt like, okay, now I've got to dish some out. But I
right now I'm going to pull in front of you and slow down. Yeah.
But to your cycling point, I get it. Here a lot of times there are bad cyclists, right, who just give everybody else a bad name. And they're oblivious to who's around them, their own spatial awareness, and it's frustrating, very frustrating, even for riders. The other thing too that I won't do here anymore, I won't ride alone. And the reason I won't ride alone is because as a soloist, you're a gnat. You're just in the way, right? Whether you're a truck or a semi or any of the cars, you're just a one-off. Just get away from me. But when we ride in groups of 20 or 30, you might be really annoying, but traffic or cars have to deal with you because you're a big annoyance.
Well, that's why I was saying, like, when there's two, even though it's annoying, right? Because I need to go wider. I also go, well, at least they're a little safer than that one dude out there. I always feel bad for the one that's like going up the hill. I don't know if you guys are like that. And I want to go grab onto my bumper and I'll help you. Because, oh my God, they're struggling so hard. And I just am like, kitten, getting your ass off that seat and doing what you're doing is not helping. You are not going any faster at all. I don't know.
We've got great area. We got great places here to ride, just kind of out in country roads that are quiet, not a lot of traffic. But then you get the riders who like to get into the cities. I live near Milwaukee, and that's just you're just asking for problems, right? You're just asking.
Did your city turn? Okay, have you guys been down to Denver and seen all the bike lanes that they did down in Denver? That's is so freaking confusing. It's terrible. They have like this solid lane, but then it's not like next to the sidewalk. It's out further, but then certain places you can cross, but it's too early for the light. And then people are confused and you got pedestrians out there. Then you've got cyclists. Then you've got those scooter things at the same time. I mean, that is like, I don't know. And then you got people camping.
You got to dodge the tent.
That's a Denver thing. Then you got to dodge like the camping. You're like, what is this? I'm gonna expect like it's like a rhino or an elephant to like walk across the street.
And then you got one-way streets. You got all kinds of stuff.
Yes, it's like crazy. Yeah. And then you got
Colorado is
on a
huge.
horse. Like what is happening?
Colorado is a huge cycling state. I mean, they have a lot of associations and laws that. What's funny is. I tend to like the bigger groups too than the smaller one. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's just easier to deal with, like you said, and safety, of course.
Yeah.
And then I like when we consider initiatives that help cyclists, like in the sense of like and most people don't know this. So it looks like they're blowing red lights, but it actually is they're allowed to kind of California roll. So they keep their momentum moving and it's safer and flowing traffic. And so a lot of people don't know that. So they get, aggravated or whatever, where rather than have them stop and then they have to wait, and take up, think about a stop cyclist in front of you at a red light trying to pedal away as a light turns green.
No.
They actually have the ability to keep moving and flowing. And so,
I want to petition for that same right to do the California stop in my car.
The only thing I don't like is when they take, you're way out in the roadway. And I think we have, don't quote me, I should know this, but I think it's only 2 abreast here. They're allowed to ride 2 abreast. And then they have to get back in. Yeah. So.
Well, I think they need to do that little sand thing more. That machine that goes along.
Well, we're in Colorado. Come on, man. It's all like it's going to snow this week again. So
then it would be safer, and then they could be over more. Like let's all help each other win there. Just do one of those. I'll drive one. How hard can it be?
The cyclist that cracks me up, and I'm probably going to get letters written to me on this one, but is we hosted the Pro Challenge, the Pro Challenge, and all kinds of stuff here for a while, and you'd always see the I'll call it the new cyclists where they have to look like Lance Armstrong out there, but they're not even anywhere close to Lance. And it's like, I don't know if that's like a requirement with the clothing or what, but it's just you got to get in shape a little bit before you start going out and doing those things.
Drew Williams, P.O. Box.
Yes.
It is true. I do notice that. Like sometimes I see someone on a bike and I have to admit I'm judgmental, right? Because I'm like, oh, look at that ass. I don't know how they're going to get that up that hill because I couldn't do it. Right. And then they're actually stronger than the ones that are all decked out and skinny on the bike. And those are the ones that are huffing sometimes. And the ones that are a little more, chunky monkey, they're doing great.
Yeah. I'll never knock you for getting activity. Activity is important. So I think that's the funny thing. But it's just the clothing attire just cracks me up sometimes. I'm like, there's things that are meant to fit a certain human being and some that aren't,
Well, Dee wears those shorts with the little pads built in so that it has a little something back there. So she's got a little junk in her trunk. But she just uses it in the car.
No, it's funny. I always make fun of my best friend. She rides out here a lot from Denver. She's been out here a couple times, and she's been to Salt Lake, and she dresses like a homeless person when she rides. And she gets all tanned. Every summer she just rides, and she gets all tanned. So I make fun of her. She looks like a piece of beef jerky just along that highway there.
Beef jerky.
It's supposed to be like people say, like I don't ride because it hurts my ass. I'm
have
not even
padded
joking. Like, it is the most
shorts.
miserable thing ever. No, that does not work. I'm sorry. And then they're like, get a wider seat. Okay, I have a tractor freaking seat that's like this and it hurts. So someone's like, well, you'll build a callus up. Really? You want a callus there? I really don't want blisters right between my butt cheeks. That's
You don't
not
build
really
a
good.
callus. You get used to it.
Yeah, okay, thanks. I'll get used to heels or something else, not that.
Get a Peloton, then you'll learn on your Peloton. Then you can go to the road.
No, I can find other things to do. I'd rather drive. I'm a driver. I love driving, so I'm good there. But Becky, what's your biggest pet peeve with drivers?
It's funny because just yesterday I was coming back from Fort Collins. This car like turned right in front of us. No blinker, no nothing. Like it was close. And then they slow down, put their blinker on. But we're like 3 blocks down and they haven't turned anywhere. I'm just like, what? That annoys the hell out. And then when they finally do turn, it is the slowest
Oh my god!
Widest turn.
of the
Cut the
earth.
turn. If there's
I'm
a
just
car
like,
there, cut
Look
it.
at your goddamn car. Like, get out of my way.
Same.
That's-
Yeah. Why don't they just don't cut? I get you can't cut it if there's a car there, but if there's not a car there, you can cut the turn a little bit. It's like when you're driving on the highway in the
Yeah.
mountains, right? And there's no one in the lane next to you. You don't stay exactly in your dotted lines. You know, you kind of have a little, there's wiggle room so that you don't have to like make everyone in your car sick. You know, like Glenwood Canyon, same thing, right? You don't stay exact, you know, you kind of take the road, but yeah. Well, and what about the people that miss their turn and don't care? Instead, they could just go to the next exit or they could go to the next street and make a U-turn or do whatever. But no, they're going to cross 4 lanes of traffic to get off because they're more important than you are. They're probably my most frustrating ones. Where literally I've thought about following them literally until they stop. And then I go, okay, so that's a little aggressive. I did do that once. I shouldn't admit this, but Drew would be like, Sarah, but someone cut me off once and I was so enraged. I actually followed them and they went in their garage and like were panicked. Like, what am I going to do to you? Look at me. What am I going to be like? But I was so ticked and I thought, oh, I scared the crap out of them. And then I thought, what if they call the police? And I'm like, I gotta go. So then I gotta go. I was just seeing where you
got
live.
things to do. I don't know.
But road rage, that's a serious.
Follow them for 2 hours and then decide to just be like, well, whatever.
Well, I did. I kind of was over. I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Go knock on your door? Like, no. So,
Yeah, then you're on the next series of Cops.
That's right.
Exactly. Right. Or Snapped. Isn't that a show? Snapped. Yeah. She was so quiet. What happened?
Sarah,
I think we're safe. No one's going to say that.
Probably never. What about Dee? You are out west, right? And then you come out here. How different is the traffic when you flip? Because I think it's incredibly different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What's good or bad?
Metro sucks. Yeah.
Good or bad, like
From like Delta, Grand Junction, Montrose area to when you're in Denver? What do you like better and worse?
there's no traffic over here. I forget because I know if GPS says it's going to take me 10 minutes to get where I'm going, it's going to take me. I don't have to account for anything or it is. Yeah. So that is one thing that I really like about moving out here. There's no traffic at all. You have to worry about semis once in a while. And we actually just got our bike lanes on our main street. So people are a little.
I know, what is that? And then you guys have the little patios out there. And no offense, but who's going to sit out there on the patio right on Main Street and eat?
Oh, I know. The town is.
They do that all over. Yeah.
I don't even understand. You're literally like 2 inches from car exhaust. And like, this is lovely soup. Could you turn off your engine?
The whole thing is they spent a ton of money on a bypass. So the semis and everybody would go around town and not through. But they don't. So you get the semis full of like livestock and stuff just through Main Street. People
while you're eating your burger.
Your dinner. Some extra protein or whatever.
Okay, well, the one thing that drives me nuts about being out there is from Montrose to Olathe to Delta, the freaking speeds. I don't even. It's a main highway, and there's not a house on that highway.
Right.
Why do we go down to 30 miles an hour?
At that stoplight there through Olathe. Yeah.
Well, I don't even understand. Okay, so Drew, honestly, is that a cop thing to give tickets? Because that does not make sense to me at all. There's not a house right there on that main. The houses are back,
Yeah.
It's
so I
all
don't understand.
it's all traffic study driven, and that'd be troopers. So good luck.
Okay, well, troopers need to fix that. Do you know anyone we can write a letter to? Because it is so annoying every time you're doing
Yeah.
65, 55, 45, 30, and then
65.
65. Yeah, they don't even build you back up again. It's like 30. Now you're supposed to be doing 65, and that truck behind you is like, get a move on. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, that's their favorite spot to sit. All the troopers sit right there because
Right,
we
that's what I'm
don't pay
saying.
attention to the speed limit. Yeah, so
I
we have to
think
be careful.
I think it's a setup. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It is
It's a trap. All right. What about I am horrible. When I'm in the car with you guys, I'm better. I like listening to music, but I don't sing really loud and I'm not obnoxious when I'm in the car with someone. But when I'm by myself,
4-hour concert featuring me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
it is horrible. I sing at the top of my lungs. I do seat dancing. Maybe there's jazz hands. I mean, it is.
I
It's
think we need to do a
right?
hidden camera in your car and we'll watch it.
No. Then I would just sit.
Good show on the road.
That would make that'd make that awesome. Yeah.
I would sit church pew then if someone watched me. But sometimes you get caught because you think no one can see you and no one's looking at you and you're doing your thing. And then somebody is like smiling because they're staring at you while you're doing it. You're just like, I want to die a little inside. Do you guys find that funny or not? Like when I see someone jamming out, I appreciate it. I think it's kind of cute. And
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
I don't like when people see me, but I like to see them and not know that I saw them.
Yeah, I think people forget their windshield isn't tinted. So that's kind of when you pull up at the light and they're behind you and you just look in your rear view and you're like, oh, you're having a concert, We can
Yeah,
see
you get the little drums on the steering wheel.
Oh yeah, steering wheel thing going, everything.
I love to pay guess
or
what
the
they're
air,
saying.
microphone, all that kind of stuff. Those are the best ones.
The guitar player.
Or I forget my windows down and I'm like singing or talking smack about the car
Oh.
next to me or something. I'm like, oh, oops.
So both of my cars have tinted windows. And then if I get into someone else's car and they don't, I forget I can't just stare. Because I can stare all the time and you can't see me
Stalker.
staring at you. Yeah. And then we're sitting at the light and I'm just like, huh. And then the person looks back at me and I still don't get it because I'm like, what is that on your, oh my God, you can see me. Because then it becomes that awkward, like, what are you looking at? No. I'm
I always get amused by, and this women. Sorry, I'm going to go there because it happened to me on the way to the Aurora House the other day. Is I'm in the fast lane. I have this car like come up on me and then back on me, and then up on me and then back on me. I'm like, what the hell is she doing?
Oh,
She's texting and mascara, and I mean the car is all over the roadway and all this stuff. That I'm going, yeah, this is safe. So I actually got the hell out of her way to let her go. And it was just comedy watching her, like trying to go between the lanes and still staring and putting, because you're on E470, so there's no stoplights or anything. But I'm like, why do you have to do that in your car while you're driving? Can you got it done before or as you arrive? But while you're driving, putting mascara on.
that is
like,
such
I'm
a
like,
man thing to say. Could you have done it before?
I don't understand how can you, I can barely like change music and drink coffee.
I
at
could
the
put
same time.
eyeliner on while I'm driving, but I
yeah,
don't.
this was crazy. The visor down, mirror up, and it was one of these things. And then it was like the phone
put
in the hand, and then
eyeliner.
it was.
And no mirror. I don't need my mirror to do that. Lipstick is the only thing I need my mirror because when you draw the lines, otherwise I would look, could be
It's
a
a
little
big
like
grin.
that.
Joker.
Right. That would actually be a funny game. Put men in the car, like on a track, and say, okay, you have to put on false eyelashes. That is hard to do while you drive. I have to admit that that's not safe.
Have you done that?
Why would we want to do that? Yeah. Like, what's the challenge?
I'm speaking for other people who maybe are running behind and look at that as a 45-minute, 30-minute window of multitasking.
She's done it right.
I agree.
Friday.
And Drew, you would know.
I
When
have
you see
done it.
guys shaving. When you guys
But
with
that,
your
yes, I
razor.
was going to say, I have seen someone eating a sloppy hamburger, like both
Wow.
hands with their
Yeah.
elbows on, and stuff is dripping everywhere, and they're driving. That has to be more dangerous than me with one hand doing like this.
You're messing with your eyes. Like, I don't know where you're going to get more dangerous at. You
Well,
poke
what if you
yourself,
get
you got all this
something
stuff.
in your eye while you're driving? It's the same thing.
What are you going to eat your burger and splash in your face? Like, I don't.
Good. That was really sloppy. What if like someone put on their brakes and you went like this and
Okay.
the tomato?
I do have to tell you my first accident, and I was very young. I had a little standard sports car, and I stopped at Taco Bell, I must have been out of school or something. I stopped at Taco Bell and I was getting ready to eat my little quesadilla and I wasn't paying attention and I rear-ended somebody. And I was so sad because my Taco Bell was all over my windshield, not because I got in an accident and it could have hurt somebody, but yeah.
Dang it. I'll go back and get it.
Dee just sit there like, damn it, my Taco Bell. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am, are you okay? But that had like extra sour cream.
Yeah, it was the worst day of my life.
All right, so controversial for men and women because we kind of got a split. If we had Chip, it would be an equal split, but Chip would add a whole new element into it. So it would
Yeah, we're good.
We're getting into summer, so windows down. So girls, that means you get a lot of like cat calling and comments and things. And so winter is always very peaceful because everyone's windows are up. Is that annoying?
I think only one of us here gets the cat calling.
That is not true. Other than I know Mike gets it a lot, but come on. I mean, not just Mike.
No, I have windows down, sunroof open, all the things.
No, because I just want to say publicly, we can hear you. Like, I think they don't think we can hear them in the car, but my window's down and their window's down and we're sitting a light and they're talking to their buddy. I can hear you. I'm not deaf.
I think it's intentional.
I can say at this. I can say I hardly ever ride with the windows down anymore.
Right.
I grew up that way.
Air conditioning.
Mike, no, really, Drew, you're the same?
It depends. I mean, if it's slow, if I'm going slow, maybe it's down. But if I'm definitely moving, they're up.
My favorite thing is the window down, wind in your hair, and you're just like, then you do this thing with your hand in the air on the side as you're, no?
I put my window down so my dog can stick his head out the window. That's about it.
I'm a dog. Is that what we're saying? Mike's calling a dog. Sarah's sticking her head out the window. Usually it's not my head, it's my hand. But because you put your hand and you feel how fast you're going with how much, the torque you get. And you just kind of, plus I love my elbow up. I'm a total dude when I drive. So, because it's this elbow, but I love this elbow up, and then you kind of got the thing, and then you've got your hand on. I always have my hand on the even if it's not a clutch, if it's an automatic, my hand has to be on that
Gear
stick.
shift. Yep.
Yeah, or holding a cup of coffee.
Yep.
One of the two.
No, I do that too. Even though I haven't had a standard in years, I always rest my hand there.
Right? Is that Becky? You too?
Standard. I haven't heard
Where
that.
my hand goes, unless I'm
Do they
holding
even
coffee,
make them anymore?
has to sit there. I don't know.
Yeah, for the generations listening, they're like, "What's a standard? Like, what is it?"
Sorry. What word should I use?
Manual.
Oh, manual. Sorry.
That is how you learn not to be a distracted driver, because
Oh,
if
hell
so,
yeah.
you'll roll back on the hill. And
Yeah.
you remember the pressure on that when you were learning on that?
Yeah,
and like,
you're
the
all.
hill was, and you were like, "Don't come so close to me! Don't come so close to me! I'm gonna roll back."
Yeah,
And
I learned how to use the emergency brake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use cheat it. Yeah.
the brake and the gas simultaneously. Yeah.
Do you guys know the hill here in Delta, the steep
Yep.
one with the paintings? That's where I learned.
Good for you.
That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
good.
That's a good one. Is it Ward has that
Yeah.
really awful hill over there in Arvada that is just
Mhm.
like crazy? My dad took me over there and made me learn on that one, which was great because then you can do it.
Right.
You learn pretty fast. But yeah, that will stop you from putting on makeup and eating in the car. It's hard to do. That was
All of
hard enough to like drink and drive stick at the same time.
Then you had to roll your window down. Even harder.
Manually, do you remember that? Yeah, that was. And when you drive, I have a 66 Ford and it doesn't have anything manual. So like the window, you need to put your back into it. And then even steering and turning the corner is a little bit like
Yeah, no power
you need
steering.
both hands. Yeah, you're not just going to be like cruising and doing that. You're like 10 and 2.
Look how spoiled we are. I think you have to actually order a manual vehicle these days. I don't even think they come. It'd be interesting to see. Maybe the big trucks probably do, but the cars, I don't think you could even get a stick.
Well, I don't know. I was going to say some Jeeps come like that now, like the Jeeps. But I'm surprised there aren't some. Okay, now I'm going to get the letters. Sarah Ingalls, P.O. Box. I'm surprised some like survivalists and conspiracy theory people haven't gone to all get manual so that when the big purge happens or whatever and all our electronics go out, they can still do their thing.
Oh, they have. They have the old cars. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
I was gonna say, I have my dad's old truck, so I'm
Yep.
good.
So when the world ends, we're all going to Dee's house.
Yep.
We're all headed west. Some of those homes out there are clearly prepper homes, so we're going out there. For
Right.
sure.
Right?
Nothing
What
wrong
about
with that. I'm going there.
this is not really a driving thing, but it is. And Drew has no concept that maybe you do, but he doesn't do Starbucks like we all do. So I don't know. But you go through the drive-through and there's 12 people in a car that seats 5 and they're all ordering out of the drive-through. That's another driver thing that just literally I want to go inside. There should be, you cannot order more than 3 drinks in your car, and then you need to get your fat rear end out and walk inside and order your drink, because that is not what this lane is for.
Can you imagine how much that order costs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's the one you're hoping you're not paying forward. You're like, oh, car, dang it.
Right? They're always
Like, oh my
frappuccino.
God.
Have you noticed that? Anytime they're like that, it's like a frappuccino line.
Oh yeah.
Like, and they're all ventes and they're dripping with caramel and whipped cream. And I'm thinking, oh, that's like all over your seats. It's like a sugar haven in there, and there's 20 of them.
Is
I'm
that
like,
all you're eating today?
right? That's enough calories for 2 days. But that drives me
100
crazy.
calories in one of those.
Yeah. I also, what about the honker? Are you a honker?
Yeah.
Honker. I don't know what that implies.
No.
No.
Mm-mm. You are, D?
Oh yeah. I mean, I not like all the time, but if it's
Oh, that
called
means
for.
she's all the time. That means her hand's on that thing. She's laying
She
on
was
it.
the first one to say yes. so-
Uh-huh. Mike,
She's a honker.
are you a hunker?
What, me?
No, Mike. You
Oh,
said
what
no.
was it?
Are you a hunker? Do you honk your horn all the time when people
No.
get in your way or tick you off?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I communicate in other ways.
Yeah.
Are you a finger? That was getting to my next question. Are you a
Hand
finger?
signals. Hand
Oh.
signals.
Well, that could be like this, or
You
I
know
know
the finger, Goose.
it's a finger. You're a finger, Becky?
Yep.
Are you a finger, D?
No, I'm on the horn.
This one.
That's her
You need the
finger.
horn. Okay, Mike.
Finger, not horn.
I am not a finger person because I am terrified that I will not know who that person is, and then I will see them later, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're the one that flipped me off in the car."
Well, you deserved it.
That's
So-
right.
Well, you earned it.
So, a funny story about that though, Sarah, and it goes back to the cycling is, when you're out there cycling, you got people going by, honking their horns, yelling, assholes, on this and that. And
You're
you're
like,
like, yeah, you're flipping them off, you're doing whatever. Then you roll into the small town where we all get together at the stoplight.
You're like,
and then you're just like, "Oh,
this is going to hurt.
There have been times. I mean, there have been times where it gets confrontational because, we'll roll up on the car that just got done cussing you out, honking the horn and swerving, and all of a sudden, you're side by side. It's always interesting.
So you
Oh,
just
yeah.
do you
A lot of
do
times, the driver will be just like this.
Yeah, they don't look at you like, no.
They won't dare look over.
It's like all the people on social media right now. All
Yeah.
mouth, no balls. All
Yeah,
mouth, no balls. Yep, they
Yep.
can say whatever they want.
It
till you
is
can
a drive-by.
Yes.
Have you ever encountered like an aggressive driver? Has someone ever tried to scare you or push you off the road?
Yeah,
That's terrifying.
I mean, more than you'd think.
Yeah.
And we finish rides, and we usually like, hey, that was a good ride today because only whatever happened, only
No.
3 cars swerved, flipped us off, yelled at us. Or it's on a Sunday after church, people are going home, and you're like, really?
Oh,
Coming home from
that's not
church.
right. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
But
That's not right.
it's funny and it's somewhat predictable. And then, like I said, then it's just classic when you roll up to the stop signs together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's motorcycles too. Mine
And
cracked me
it
up.
is funny too because people think, well, if I don't hit the person, then I'm not doing anything. But they don't realize
Oh,
you
break your
can basically
concentration.
swerve,
Yeah.
freak someone out enough that they end up in the ditch or
Right.
injured,
Yeah.
and it's just as bad.
So I am the person I will get out of my car and have words with you. So I am not afraid. I'm like literally, if you're going to be that aggressive,
Wait.
I'll get out of my car. What are you
You'll
going
get
to
out of the car, but you won't flip somebody off? Right.
No, because again, I feel like that's respectfully to all you flipper offers. That's passive aggressive. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to be aggressive right in your face. No.
She wants to do it the right way and just follow them home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
follow you all the way home.
If I'm going to threaten you, you're going to know. Like when everyone's like, is that a threat? And they're like, no. I'd be like, yes, it is. Absolutely it is. Hold my purse. I got sketchy shit to do. No, what about waivers? Are you guys, because I am if someone lets me in, I will always wave and say thank you. I'm a huge waiver and like thank you person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, and out here, depending on what road you're on, everyone just assumes you're a friend. Yeah. So
Yeah, you get the hand wave all the time. I get that where I live now too. I'm like, I don't know who you are. And so much now where I live that it's like a construction crew that's coming in or something. They don't know me. And I'm like, and there's 20 guys. And I'm like, wait, I take my wave back. It wasn't meant like that. But well, I don't know. I think it's just interesting because if we all think everyone's a bad driver, what do we do and what could we do to clean up our driving a little bit and not, obviously hurt cyclists or old drivers. That's a whole thing we didn't talk about, but that's a whole nother thing of when people should lose their license. I feel like young and old drivers are on the spectrum of that's a little bit of an issue. And men are always, no offense, guys, but you guys are way more aggressive than us are. We're distracted, I feel like, but you guys are aggressive.
Yeah, I believe that.
I agree.
No, Becky? Becky's being quiet.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
Because it's usually, and no, again, I don't know.
We don't have eyeliner.
It's usually a truck like up my ass, and I'm already going 10 over the speed limit, and I'm trying to get around somebody to get out of your way. I'm not going to park in the left lane, and some big old truck that like I can't see anything other than their grill because I'm in my little car then, like is up my rear end until they pass me, and then they turn over and look at me, and then they're like, "Oh, no, no, shame on you."
Give them the finger.
You don't get to smile after you just were like pushing me out of your way 10 miles over the speed limit. So anyway, I don't know. I think we should have flip cards. That's what I want to invent. That's what we can close with. So, it's on a stick and you can flip it and it says something.
They have those. They have
They
LED
do?
signs. Yeah, go in the back of your window.
In the back, yeah.
Mhm. You can have it program it to say whatever the hell you want it to say. And a finger too, if you want a
damn
finger.
it. We were going to retire and go to Hawaii off of that.
Nope,
but
it's
never
already been
mind.
done. Yep, already been done.
I just saw yesterday on social media, a guy rolls his window down, tells the other guy to roll his window down, takes an umbrella, sticks it out and opens it, and it's the guy it's a big finger.
Finger, I saw that one too. That was
Well, at
hilarious.
least that would make you laugh.
That would
right?
make you laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remembered. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. At least if you're going to be that way in traffic, make me laugh. Like, then I'll let you get away with a lot. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, Mike, let me know what you have in mind for a pit crew thing, and I'll see if I can accommodate. So
She has to wear the attire. That's part of the gig. So
what attire? The biking thing?
yep, you gotta be there.
Oh Lord,
supporting.
now I got to get in the gym more if I'm going to wear those. Those don't have any kind of give at all. That's not a.
And a beach cruiser. That way you don't have to worry about the little.
Beach cruiser. Yep.
Yep,
I don't know
beach
what that
cruiser.
is.
Oh my
I have
goodness.
to look at our route. I'll see where we come. We come through Colorado. I'll have to see where we come through.
Probably
Preferably
I-70.
in a mountain town, so I can go spend the weekend, and that has a little spa.
Right, the retreat side of it, the reunion
Yeah,
where we all just
we
get
can make
together.
it a weekend, right? Right, everybody. We can
Did
go.
you post your route already?
Well, it's a route. It's a sanctioned event.
No, I know. Did you post it? I mean, so people can look at it. Is it on
It's
your
out there.
social media? Okay.
But it's so yeah, we last year we had a little training camp, Sarah, in San Diego, and this year was in Orlando. See, that's this part of it that you're like,
Oh.
sign me up for that.
So,
That'd be
Mike, you were late.
I was.
Is there an
It'll al-
after party I need to know about too?
It'll
Because-
always be your fault, Mike. Don't worry. Just the how it goes.
That
Don't
is
worry.
true. It will always be your fault. Just get used to it. So, if there's an after party, yeah, you can just send a plane for us, and we'll just show up wherever
There
that
you
is. Hopefully, Paris or someplace
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I don't know, anywhere. So, all right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for being our guest. We'll see what we can do. If you would like to find out about this or follow Mike, he's a funny guy. Mike, what is your handle or your shout out?
Actually, what you can do is go to our website, and it's team1mile.com.
And is that on Instagram or Facebook?
That would be our website and Facebook, Team 1 Mile.
Okay. So not real hard.
Instagram, it's We Are 1 Mile.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, we will all follow you, and we'll see what we can do to get you some attention. So
Always appreciate it. This was
All
fun,
right.
guys.
thank you. It was very nice to have you on, and we will see you tomorrow morning, same place, same